So on behalf of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Memphis, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone joining us tonight. My name is Rout, and I'm responsible for government relations and advocacy efforts at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Memphis. So you all know Habitat helps families build and buy new homes with affordable mortgages, and we assist seniors age in place with dignity by providing critical home repairs and modifications. We've been serving families in Memphis for nearly 40 years, but we also pride ourselves on being innovators and bringing people together to examine the various and complex social issues around housing so that we can bring about comprehensive and holistic change. That's why we have revamped and relaunched our Women Build program. Traditionally, Women Build has been a one-day fellowship experience for women on one of our build sites. But in evaluating the event in years past, we decided that for us at Habitat Memphis, Women Build should be so much more than just one day. We certainly love celebration and enjoy fellowship when we bring our women together, but we also want to dig a little deeper. So we set a goal to educate and raise awareness surrounding issues and hardships affecting women and girls internationally, nationally, and locally that impede their ability to thrive, enjoy stability, and build generational wealth through empowerment and homeownership. So we decided to expand our Women Build program beyond one day to achieve our goal. So back in May, we began raising awareness by looking at the issues of sanitation, hygiene, and gender equality, both internationally and right here in our own community. And in July, we looked at the issues women face abroad, and something as simple as purchasing and inheriting land. Memphis Habitat helps address this through our ties Habitat International, Habitat Nepal. If you missed these great discussions, we recorded them and they are on our website. Those in the chat, and I highly encourage you to watch because they are really fantastic. So if you have some time after tonight's session, tomorrow, whenever, please be sure to go back and watch those. They are fantastic, and we have what I think will be an equally fantastic discussion waiting for us tonight. Now, if you have any comments or questions as we move through tonight's discussion, please feel free to share your comments in the chat with our other audience members and put any questions you might have in the Q&A function. We'll get to those questions as time allows towards the end of this evening's discussion. I'm excited. I hope you are too, so let's get started. In recognition of Women's Equality Day, which is coming up this Thursday, we're going to be joined tonight by three of our incredible Habitat homebuyers. These women are going to share their stories of what led them to Habitat, what going through our homebuyer program is like, and what their experience has been like since they've closed on their homes. I mentioned our homebuyer program, so before we talk with our panel of homebuyer Wonder Women, I want to introduce two members of our Family Services team. Family Services is the department that runs our homebuyer program. Liz Miller and Eula Jackson work together with our families from the moment they email or call to find out more about our homebuyer program, all the way through to the moment they close on their home and we excitedly pass over the keys. They are going to provide a bit of background about what it takes to become a Habitat homebuyer. So now I'll pass the virtual mic on over to Liz and Eula and let them share a quick overview of how our homebuyer program works. Liz and Eula?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sherry. So I'm excited to talk about, I'm always excited to talk about homeownership, but I will explain just a little bit, in a little bit more detail about the Habitat program and how it sets us apart from a traditional bank or bank loan, traditional mortgage loan. So I think the main thing that sets us apart is that it is a 0% mortgage, which makes the payment affordable. But there are a few more things that are particular for the Habitat program. So I'm going to read through them. And I'm sorry, I was trying to get you off the screen so I could read about that and share more with you. So there's a lot of details. Our orientation is about 20 minutes long, and it's online on our website, which is under memphishabitat.com under the programs tab. Pick the homebuyer program, and you will see that orientation video. But I'll tell you just a few things. So this is like I said, a qualifying program. So the first part of our program is that you do have to qualify for a 30-year mortgage. Habitat applicants must qualify through our family selections committee and get approved. But you have to be willing to partner with Habitat and be willing to pay the mortgage back. So just like a traditional mortgage, applicants must meet various qualifications for the Habitat program, including having a need for a home buying opportunity through Habitat. Memphis Habitat looks at 4 living situations to determine a need for our services, like substandard conditions, structural problems, mold, things like that. Overcrowding situations, like people using the same bedrooms or non-bedrooms, sleeping in the couch in the den or whatever, the living room, or temporary housing, just not having a rent in your name, living with someone. And then cost burden. Unfortunately, we see this a lot, and that's spending more than 30% of your income on rent. So another important piece is to partner with Habitat. So applicants must be willing to complete a 12-week homebuyer education class and contribute 350 hours of sweat equity. I know that sounds like a lot, but it gets done. 150 of the hours are from the class. And then the other hours are spent volunteering at the Restore, helping out with Habitat events and volunteering at other nonprofits. And you have to also make a $2,000 payment towards the closing cost, and then save $1,000 in your emergency fund. And that's your savings account for a rainy day, saving money for a rainy day. And then, of course, pay us back. Habitat homeowners have to pay us back just like any mortgage, and verify income. And we do run credit. We don't require a certain credit score, but we do require that all collections and judgments are paid in full. And you must be able to afford that mortgage payment. So we do run ratios and make sure that you can do that. So we are accepting applications for this fall build. We're building 27 houses, and we have about 14 of them sold. So if you know anyone that is in need of a Habitat home, please refer them to our website, memphishabitat.com. Thank you. Sherry.
Thanks so much, Liz. Thank you for being here with us tonight and taking the time to educate folks and share about how our home buying program works. I know there's lots of folks out there who are very interested in hearing all about it. So that's a lot of info to take in. So if you want more information about our program, we're going to be dropping a link to our website, provide some contact info for you to further explore our home buying program. Now, the rest of tonight's discussion will be moderated by our own Chris Reeder-Young. Chris is an applied anthropologist and has worked for 11 years as the Senior Research and Evaluation Manager here at Memphis Habitat. We all have those people in our lives that make us better just by knowing them. And Chris is one of those people. So Chris, I'm going to turn things over to you now.
Hey, thanks, Sherry, and thank you, Liz. I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. I'm super excited to talk to some of my favorite Habitat homeowners. Of course, as Sherry mentioned, I do research and evaluation at the affiliate, but at the corner of all that I do is having conversations with people and doing surveys and interviews and talking to some of the most brilliant women I've met in my career. Makes me a very lucky and a very blessed woman. I have had a chance to talk to Precious and Christy over the years and have conversations about community life and individual family experiences. And then most recently, I got a chance to meet Crystal. And again, I'm super lucky to be able to have those conversations. So I'd like to welcome them on screen. If you'd like to go ahead and turn on your video. Christy, Crystal, and Precious. And what I'm going to have you guys do tonight is just start off by introducing yourself and then telling our attendees the year that you became a homeowner. So let's start with Christy, and then we'll move to Crystal, and then Precious.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, team at Habitat for Humanity, for having me. So my name is Christy Dumas, and I was a homeowner back in 2013, and I'm sure you guys get a chance to hear a little bit more about my story. But that's who I am, and I am currently a district service manager at Home Depot now. So Habitat has actually helped me succeed in my career, and that's all about me for now. And I do have 2 kids. One is 7 and one is 13.
Hi, go ahead, Crystal.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Jones, and I have been a Habitat homeowner since 2018. It was an awesome home buying experience. I am a mother of 3 boys, and Habitat has been a great resource for us. And I'm grateful to have this opportunity to share this platform with you all tonight. So hope you enjoy.
Awesome. Welcome, Crystal and Precious. Precious, I think you're still working, and so she's coming in and out, and we're going to hear more about Precious Restaurant and her journey after homeownership. But Precious, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and how long you've been a homeowner with Habitat?
Hey, I'm Precious Thompson Jones now. I've been with Habitat since 2011. I appreciate Habitat. Habitat helped me when I was at my lowest. I had just went through a breakup, and thought my credit wasn't good enough and all that. And I got denied the first time. My mother told me to try again, and I thank God I did. And I got my home. I got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, and Precious has a super cool story and a journey that I can't wait to talk more about. So this is going to be kind of like a roundtable discussion. And so I'll have a couple of questions, and any of you who are attending tonight, I see some current homeowners attending tonight. So if you have questions that you want to ask, just drop them in the chat, and I will actually ask those as well. But let's just start with Christy. We'll just go in that order. Christy, what led you to apply to the Habitat program in the first place? And then could you share with us sort of where your journey went and how you interacted with Habitat as you decided to kind of move in a different direction?
Most definitely. So I had a family member that told me about the program. I had kind of like Precious' story. I've been through a lot and was staying in a house that had rats, different things like that I just could not have. At the time, I only had my daughter, and I just could not have her growing up in that environment. So, when I found out about the program, I applied to the program, and actually I was denied as well. And there were things on my credit that I had to pay off. And I think I put my paperwork on Dwayne's desk. I think they put my paperwork on his desk maybe 2 or 3 times to show him my progress and how I was paying things off. So I took my taxes one year, and I paid everything off that was on my credit, and I showed receipts and showed that I'm here. I had my money saved up, and was like, I am going to put this money to some good use. So, and that was back in 2013. So I did finally get approved for the house. We went through the process, and I don't know if you want me to go through the process now. We're going to talk about it later. But my journey with Habitat, first off, I had a place to lay my head that was comfortable, brand new house. I was able to help pick out certain things for my home, and my daughter was in a decent neighborhood. So that was a plus in my book. At that time, I was a department supervisor for Home Depot. And then because I was in a good neighborhood and I had my personal life was situated at the time because of Habitat, giving me a home, I was able to progress with Home Depot, and I just kind of worked my way up. I stayed in a Habitat for Humanity house for 3 years. And then because they blessed me, I blessed them back and just gave the house back to Habitat for Humanity. I felt like that was the right thing to do. I didn't ask for anything. I just wanted to sign it back over so that they can bless another family like they blessed me. And so my journey with that is just to say that if anybody is really looking into going into the program, it is something truly to help you get to where you need to go. And now I can honestly say I worked my way up through Home Depot, and now here I am, a district service manager. Who knew? I never knew that this was going to happen. But if I didn't have that foundation and didn't have that Habitat home to help raise my family at the time, I would not be where I was at. And one of the other reasons why I even chose to sell the house, well, not sell, but give the house back, is because my family started to grow. So I got married, and then I had a son. So there you go. So it was, yes, it was truly a blessing. I see somebody chatting. It was truly a blessing for me. So I truly want to be a blessing to somebody else.
Absolutely, Christy. And you've always been an incredible human. And I remember when you joined the program, and you know, you have always been such a shining star, and you're always such a wonderful neighbor. And that kindness that you provided as a lily pad for another family was truly brilliant and kind. And you know, your story's a little bit unique, actually, and not everyone lily pads in the same direction, right? But we all know that first lily pad, that first Habitat homeownership opportunity really opens up opportunities in other realms, whether it's education for kids, a different school, maybe just providing enough stability to, like you said, to rest your head so that you could focus on your career. You know, and that's huge. It's huge. So Crystal, I'm going to move to you, and then Precious. Crystal, can you tell us a little bit about your journey and what led you to the program?
Yes, definitely. So I too applied for Habitat maybe 2 times, and I was denied both times. And during that time, each time that I had any kind of interaction with the staff at Habitat, they was always very informative. They always was compassionate, would show compassion, and was there invested to help, to make sure that I understood the requirements, and not only that, but to help me get on the right track so that I may meet the requirements. So I came back a 3rd time. I had almost given up, and I came back a 3rd time, and I spoke with Mr. Steve, and I was kind of just telling him a little bit about what was going on. We shared in some conversation, and he was able to relate to me. So I felt very comfortable. And so I applied again. And when I did apply, I did find out that there was some things on my credit that that wasn't so promising. But they did not deny me. They actually helped me to make sure that I was able to get those things taken care of. So Habitat has been an amazing blessing to me and my family, because I am a small business owner. So here I am, small business owner, trying to provide for my children, trying to show them a better way of life. And so many of us, I guess, can share in the same things, have a lot of things in common. Born in poverty, you know, you hear that you can own a home, you hear that you can do better, you hear all of these things, but you never see anyone, well, for me, I never saw anyone in my immediate family actually have a home, actually purchase a home, have any stability. So I think that was one of the things that really drove me. And so it was a friend that told me about Habitat. So I kept pushing and I kept pressing, and I was determined that I was going to get a house, because my main thing, I knew that I needed some stability, and I had to also be realistic. And so I knew I needed something that I can actually afford. And so the qualifications and the things that Habitat offered, I knew that that'd be the perfect opportunity for me. Just trying to slow down. I knew that was the perfect opportunity for me. And so when I did become a homeowner and I went through the classes, I learned so much information. And the information that Habitat provided to us, it is information that people pay thousands of dollars for. And Habitat not only, you know, helped me to become a homeowner, but they helped develop the whole person. They helped me to build some stability in my life. They helped me to build a foundation. Not only did Habitat bless me with a home, but I have homelessness that runs in my family line. So we actually broke a generational curse of homelessness. So my children, they also took the class. I worked very closely with Miss Juliet, Miss Liz, and Miss Eula. And so my children was learning along the way as I was. So we are just so grateful for this opportunity. And we're just looking forward to sharing more with you all. I think I stopped there.
Yeah, that's perfect, Crystal. And that's such a powerful testimony of how you are crossing bridges and you're hand in hand with your children and you're moving into new parts of your life with them. You know, as Christy mentioned too, that this is something that you and your children went into together, not just for them, but with them. And I think that's brilliantly powerful. And I think Precious can probably speak to that too. But Precious, I'm going to turn it over to you. What led you to apply to the Habitat program? And then sort of what does your journey look like? And if you want to talk about how you have arrived at the restaurant and being a business owner as well, go ahead and share that too.
Oh, y'all know I'm long-winded. Hey, Habitat. I forgot the question. Habitat helped me so much. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so what led you to Habitat? Like, what was it that motivated you and inspired you to keep going? Because, you know, it happens sometimes that folks get denied, and that can be very difficult. But our family services team say, hey, you know what? These things happen. Let's work on it. So what kept you motivated and what led you to apply to the program? And then what has your life been like since you got the home?
What led me to Habitat? What led me back to Habitat? After I got denied the first time, y'all first director, I was trying to get a home somewhere else, and the man had played with the signature at the end, what they call it, your earnest check. You know, I was going back and forth with the man with that, and I just happened to look through my file one day, and he signed some papers that I knew I did not sign, you know, and so my mother was like, you know, I had got discouraged. My mother was like, well, baby, go back to Habitat, you know, because y'all first director said I couldn't qualify. If your credit that good, you can't get a house through Habitat. My mom was like, go back again, because y'all was building them on 3rd Street over there by Needley, by the skating ring. And so I was by my mom's house, all the big, beautiful, bright colors. And she was like, try Habitat again. I was like, okay. So I tried again. And Mr. Michael was the new director. Mr. Michael had just came. And so I was letting Mr. Michael know situation I was in. I just had broke up with my daughter's father, and I was a waitress at the Waffle House. And this is my dream too. 25 years later, my restaurant, I got a Waffle House style restaurant. Yeah, I was working at the Waffle House and working 3rd shift, trying to get back and forth. And I told 50 friends about Habitat. All of them act like they was coming. Didn't nobody come. After all of the 50, I'm the only one got my homeowner, became homeowner. Like she said, generational curses. I broke generational curses. My grandmama and grandparents had homes and everything, but my mom had just got her house right before me. So mama had the house, but my siblings and cousins and all of them had never had homes. And I'm the black sheep of the family, you know. So they was amazed that I got in the program, and I passed through the program, and y'all gave us our keys that day. And they was like, I was telling everybody, don't walk with the shoes on. They were so jealous and disrespectful, but I don't know what happened to the camera. I left out here. But, you know, it turned to a good thing. I appreciate, what happened?
We can still hear you if you want to keep talking. There you are. I see you and I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so virtual background, there I go. Okay, so yeah, I appreciate I was working at Memphis City School. I was a little custodial lady, and thank God for y'all having teams to help us, because if we had to wait on family, I would have never got home. Y'all had strangers, y'all had the Memphis City School volunteers help me, the Navy and Army people helped me. I appreciate David Ramsley class. Y'all had the credit card cut up session. I learned so much from that part. I want to see myself. Where I'm at, there I go. Yeah, I learned so much from David Ramsley. I still got his book. I still got his CDs. I'm passing it to my daughter and my other bonus children. I appreciate the.
Looks like we lost Precious for a hot second. Yeah, no, there you are.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I don't know why my phone tripping. Yeah, y'all taught us how to put up ceiling fans. You got to pick your own house color. I kept praying for a corner house. Y'all tried to put me with the first bill. Something happened. I got with the second bill, so I got what I prayed for. I wanted a corner lot with a big backyard, front yard. I got blessed with the biggest backyard and front yard in my area. I got awesome neighbors. We just all learn stuff together, you know, and we all appreciate the values of our home. We appreciate the washer, dryers, the stove, the refrigerator, the lawnmower. Y'all gave us great deals on alarms. A lot of my neighbors don't even use their alarm no more, but you're not gonna get no alarms nowhere cheaper than $66 every 3 months. And I just appreciate y'all. Y'all helped me when I was down. And I thank you so much. Have a blessed day. And y'all helped me when I was down and out. And I got laid off from my job working at Memphis City School for 10 years. I switched to the cafeteria later. Then I started cooking more and met my little chocolate drop, met my husband, and he got to talking about marriage so fast, and I was in the process of buying my home and all that stuff. And, you know, he had his place, and I was like, Mr. Steve, Mr. Steve wasn't there yet. Miss Mike, I'm like, is this gonna stop us from getting in the program? You know, because he got to talk about marriage, and I know you got to talk about marriage, and they got children. You think we're gonna have to get another home, but I appreciate my home. You know, you have to worry about yourself in case Joe can get on down on you, make sure you and your children straight. And so the bills were 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. We was there, we was dedicated. Then I got laid off from my job. Like I said, I met my husband. He put me through culinary school. Then I found me a food truck. Then I was always cooking and knocking on the door. I'm the one that's gonna feed your family if y'all can't afford to your repast or do the GoFunds. I'm the neighbor that's gonna walk on all of those and get the card signed if you got death in your family. You know, all me and my neighbors, the Trinity Park, we tight, baby. And we love each other and we look out for each other. And we share and we talk and we still have cookouts and everything. I love when y'all come out with us. And I'm long-winded. I need to and like I said, we got the food truck. I worked in the food truck, and now my daughter, she was 8 or 9 then, 8, 9, 10. She's gonna be 20 now, so I'm passing the home on to her and teach her how to pay her bills on time, how to keep that direct deposit. Thank God for direct deposit. Told her if you don't pay nothing else, your bills is affordable. You know all your neighbors, everybody, children that grew up together. It's just awesome. Mr. Jimmy just retired. He still ride through the neighborhood. I got tight Mr. Steve. I call him my white pops. That's my pops, Mr. Steve. I'm gonna miss him. I'm keep in touch. And we just a tight niche family. Now I got the restaurant, and I always talk about Habitat. Matter of fact, the RISE program came with me today. They finna have a new magazine. They want me to talk to their people. I graduated from their program also, and I don't like the word no, and I don't like excuses. And Habitat, y'all made a dream come true, because I'm a Chicago girl, and we always saw our friends get killed and have so many children. My mama moved me to Memphis to save my life, and I just thank God for Habitat. I'm gonna stop talking so much. I'm long-winded, but I love y'all.
Well, we love you too, Precious, and you're not long-winded. I enjoyed every bit of your story, and I think other people need to hear it too, because it is like Christy and Crystal's story about motivation and determination, and about sharing this journey with the next generation and moving forward, and doing it in a way that is going to encourage stability and success. And you spoke about Trinity Park. That was our first planned development, and those homeowners and those families there are super tight. And they are an immediate family. And I think that probably Christy and Crystal can maybe connect to this too, is that when you're in those classes and you're connecting to Eula and Liz and Steve and, in previous family services leadership, like it's almost like you're creating a bond with family members, but who are also going to be your neighbors. And so I always thought that was a super cool part of our program. If I might say so myself, that Habitat does, because it's really about collective action and bonding and sisterhood, and so and brotherhood. But I always found that so motivating and powerful. And and inspiring. So my next question brings us to the topic for tonight, really, which is, in your opinion, and I'll keep asking this question again in case you guys need a refresher. In your opinion, why is homeownership important for women and girls? And, so think of yourself as an identifying woman. What is it going to be like for future nieces or future daughters or future sisters, things like that? Why is homeownership specifically important for women and girls? So we'll start with Christy, and then I'll shift over to Crystal and Precious.
So that is truly an important question. So I'll tell you, in my opinion, I believe that when you think about women owning a home, it's almost like thinking about a woman in leadership, a woman owning her own business, a woman being able to vote. And we have come so far as women, and being able to be a homeowner just speaks volumes, and it gives us that sense of accomplishment, and I'm grateful for that. And I'll tell you a story. So I actually, being at Home Depot when I was a store manager before I recently got promoted, I was over the Women in Leadership program. So I help encourage other women. And with that, a lot of women do not like to do a lot of things because they feel like they can't, because they have kids or they have this going or that. So they feel like they can't. So when I would go to, they would always send a store managers to a store manager meeting out of town. And when I would go, it's so many men. Oh, it's so many men. And so the women line to go to the restroom is short, but the men's line is long all the way around the building, right? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the point. And so it just speaks volumes when I could go back 4 years later and now the women's line is long versus just being the men's line long, okay? So when you think about being a woman, like a homeowner as a woman, I think more than just being a homeowner. I'm thinking women should be in leadership. Women should be able to do anything that they put their mind to, and nobody can stop us, not a man, not our bosses, nobody. We should be able to do it all. And women, don't short yourselves because you feel like, oh, I got kids or I have this going, or, no, don't short yourself because you can do it all. I have kids too. And I promise you, as long as you keep God first, and then you have something like Habitat that helps you through this process, it can happen. I'm a living testimony of it.
Yeah, Christy, you almost got my waterworks going. And you tapped into that concept of home ownership is that lily pad, and it's that confidence bolster. Like, I can do this in home ownership. I can do this other places in my life, with relationships, with people in authority, members of the community, in my neighborhood, at work. And so when I read the feedback that I get from the survey, so often the women say it gave me the confidence to do other things in my life. And again, I'm giving a shout out to the Family Services Department because just working with them has taught me so much, not just about home ownership and finances, but just about determination and that we're here for the long game. And that there's many lily pads, for us to step on. We just have to really look at it. So yeah, Christy, you almost got my waterworks going really hard. I had to keep it together, but that was super motivating and inspiring. Crystal, same thing for you. Why was home ownership important for you as a woman, or in general, why is home ownership important for women?
Yes. So home ownership is extremely important. And I know that I can relate to the same thing that Christy was talking about. So being a small business owner, I am in the beauty industry. So that's my passion. I'm always mentoring young girls, going to schools and having one-on-one classes and having empowerment sessions. So that is something extremely important. And I think it goes back to, a lot of times it goes back to our upbringing, the way we were raised. Many of us was told that we can't purchase a home, or we shouldn't purchase a home until we're married, until we meet the man of our dreams, etc. So a lot of things like that. So for me, I've always been very, very self-driven. I've always wanted more than what I saw on the surface. So I guess that's kind of what pushed me to always look at things on a more broader spectrum. So when Habitat came along, and Habitat, I mean, it develops and helps the whole person, not just getting a home, but it does build up your confidence. It does allow you to see who you are and the things that you're capable of. So that has been a very big thing for me. And so when I did get into the program, being an entrepreneur, it can be very frustrating sometimes. It can be very challenging. And so when you're paying for your living expenses and it's above the means of what you're bringing in, and on top of that, you're trying to raise your children. So you have to decide between paying bills or putting food on the table. That's a very hard thing and a very troubling situation to be in. So when Habitat came around, and so I did go and get another job because there was some inconsistency in my income. And so I had to get a job that showed more consistency so I could be approved for the program. So since I've been approved for this program and I now have bills that's manageable and that I can afford, I'm now able to focus back on my business. Not only that, the company that I work for, Amazon, I have received 5 promotions. So I'm now a learning coordinator for the company. I'm able to really go out into the world and be the best that I can be because I have that confidence, because I have that stability, because I'm not worried about, do I have to pay my bills, or do I have to, choose between putting food on the table or paying bills. So now I'm more focused now into getting back into the community and building up our young girls, teaching them about entrepreneurship, teaching them about their value, their work, who they are, who they're called to be. And the thing about it, I'm not married. I desire a husband, but so many people now, they're living beyond their means. And what I mean by that, a lot of people forget their worth because we put our trust in men or other things. And so people will sometimes begin to shack or live together just for the sake of being able to afford their bills. And so the opportunity that I'm going to say Amazon, the opportunity that Habitat has given to me, I don't have to lower my standards. I'm able to be in a position where I can wait on the man that's right for me and also maintain the living and the responsibilities that I have and stand my own ground. So Habitat has been a tremendous blessing to me and my family and just have changed our entire lives because I'm just grateful. So I think I stopped there.
Yeah, my body is covered in goosebumps as you were sharing that this is about independence and power, and that you don't have to sacrifice who you are, and you don't have to sacrifice your safety, that you don't have to worry about doubling up on incomes to be able to afford things, that your independence isn't just about your confidence and your power and your strength, but it's all about your safety as well. And so that was a beautiful point that you brought up. It just gave me goosebumps, Crystal. So thank you so much. So Precious, this next question is for you. Why was homeownership important for you as a woman? Or asked in a different way, why is homeownership important for women? I heard you talk about how, you're passing down this financial education to your daughter. So you tapped into something really important too, but why is homeownership important for women?
Why ownership important for women? Ownership is important for women. Confidence. I can do it. Nothing like your own bedroom. Ain't nothing like your children's own bedroom. I got so many partners who be talking and preaching to them about nothing about their children's own bedroom. Your own bathroom, your own kitchen. It's just a blessing to be cooking and doing what you want to do, and can't nobody put you out of yours. Can't you got to keep your credit right. You ain't got no credit, you got to learn to build some credit. You know, you got to learn to pay your bills on time. You got to learn to have a responsible relationship. You got to learn to mean what you say and say what you mean. And your word is bond. You know, women, you know, some women do settle and wait and be shacking and all that. I wasn't going for the shacking thing. My mother didn't play that shacking stuff. So that's why I said when I first got my home, I had met my boyfriend at the time. He's my husband now, but he was talking about marriage and all that. And I'm like, look, you know, because I wasn't playing that shacking stuff. And he knew he had to come on with it, you know. So that's why, and it's important now, yeah, because he owed me a home. So we moving soon, you know, and you got to have something affordable. You can't wait on no man. A man will leave you high and dry. You know, my mama always said, don't let nobody put you in nothing you can't afford yourself. You know, and if you lose your job, be able to struggle it out. And she always taught me about roommates. You know, she ain't never had no roommate. I haven't either. But baby, if you're going to do it by yourself. Because if a roommate leave, you still got to pay your own bills, you know. So that stuck with me. She always taught me to be stable. Make sure somebody can find you. Keep the same phone number. Keep the same address. Be reachable, you know. And my mom always worked 2-3 jobs. And I had the money growing up, and I saw my auntie with credit cards and all that stuff, but she never told me about debt. You know what I'm saying? So you be thinking, you see all the folks with the credit cards and they got it going on and all that, but they don't talk about the debt. You know what I'm saying? So learn about the debt. I appreciate Dave Ramsey class and the snowball effects and you know, different ways to pay it off. And now I'm learning about business credit. You know, my personal credit didn't got better. Thank you, Jesus, because I was swiping everything. You know, I got addicted to yes. When your credit get better, you get addicted to yes. And I got a lot of good debt now, you know, paying off, buying food trucks and buying concrete and generators and swiping bouncers and catering stuff and all that. So, you know, live upon your means. I got partners that can't even buy a meal because they got to worry about the rent. The rent's so high, trying to live beyond their means, driving Peter to pay Paul. I didn't know what that means till I got older too, but I appreciate Habitat. Yes, ma'am. We start right there too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you talk about a really good point there about how your priorities are changed, that it's about the food truck and the restaurant and how your money is going towards things that are going to just encourage more stability for you and your family. And that your mom and that you talked about shacking up, you know, I mean, that you are the most important thing and you're the priority, and that you're here to take care of your own housing and your own well-being. I also really like what you said about having your own bedroom, your kid having his or her own bedroom, your own kitchen, because that means that your kiddo has a place to study in quiet, to have a timeout if folks are getting on each other's nerves, a place to sleep in, a place to relax, a place to decompress, because the three of you are all working very, very hard. That you deserve a place to have self-care, to cook nutritious food with amenities that are reliable and safe, that you don't have to call a landlord about and say, my fridge is acting up. And so these are all things that are part of your quality of life. And across the globe, and as I start to moderate more of these conversations, I hear about the huge disparity of health outcomes for men and women because opportunities are not always made available to women. And so across the globe, not just the United States. And so it's really powerful to hear your experiences and for y'all to share. I mean, y'all are some powerhouses and I am truly blessed to be able to talk to you. So I'm gonna ask one more question and I'm gonna create an open roundtable. So whoever wants to jump in and answer this first, go ahead. We won't go in any particular order, but the question is, for the folks who are watching right now and the folks who are going to be watching this, what would you like for them to know about the Habitat program and how it impacted you? It could be your kids' success, having a homeschool, anything like that. Maybe some of the experiences that you had over the pandemic, having a place to kind of, you know, social distance quietly and safely and comfortably and affordably. How has this Habitat program impacted you, like over time, or maybe even a couple of examples of just short term? Crystal, I saw you take yourself off mute, so I'm going to go mute.
Okay, yes. Habitat, this have been a tremendous blessing again. I got my home right before the pandemic began. My children, they very fortunate to attend great schools, but they also have a lot of interests, different interests. So they play instruments. So us having our own home, our own space, our own safe haven, they're able to go in their rooms and play the drums, play the sax, different things like that, without worrying about being disturbed. Also, with Habitat being a faith-based organization and we being a family that's strong in our faith, God just never makes any mistakes, and His timing is perfect. And I love that Habitat is dedicated to building and maintaining healthy relationships. And this was definitely a divine, intentional connection. So anyone who's looking to purchase a home, stay hopeful, stay dedicated, stay committed, stay on your grind. Know that it's going to happen because the Lord will always give us the desires of our heart. So it may be times that you may be frustrated. It may be times that you may think that the world is on your shoulder. I was there too. I mean, I was living in poverty. Again, couldn't put gas in my car. There was a lot of things I couldn't do. We couldn't afford to go out for a good time. And now I am living the absolute best life, all because I was connected to Habitat. Because I was connected to Habitat, I have peace in my life. I have peace in my mind. I have structure. I have direction. I have a strong foundation, as well as my children. So we have a safe community that we live in. All neighbors, we were able to build, again, these intentional, healthy relationships among each other. And it has just been a tremendous blessing. So stay encouraged, know that you can do it, know that you will do it, and know that it's going to happen for you because the Lord said He'll give us the desires of our heart. So this is a wonderful organization. Even when I moved into my home, Habitat was dedicated. I mean, the people who sold into this organization, whether it was their time, their money, anything, and just to be able, because we live in such an evil world now, so to be able to still come across the path of good people who you see have no hidden motives, but they solely want to help you, they want to invest in your future, that is a blessing. So I hope that everyone stay encouraged and know that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I am a living witness. I've been homeless, I've been hopeless, I've been sad, but now I'm full of joy and money in my bank and a beautiful home. So I just hope that you all are encouraged. I hope that something has been said that makes you all apply for this program or even donate to the program, whether it's your funds or your time, because Habitat gives so much more to us and we would never be able to pay them back. We get our washers and dryers, we get a dishwasher, we get a lawnmower, and they teach us how to do all these things, even so far as to how to maintain our homes, how to fix holes. I have boys, so I have had to repair 2 holes. So there's so many great benefits and resources within this organization. And I just thank God for it. And I thank God for all of the staff. And I hope you all have been blessed.
Crystal, that was beautiful. And, you know, all 3 of you have talked about how much of a blessing Habitat is, but the 3 of you are absolute blessings to us. And we can't do what we do without you and you all showing up and being the powerhouses that you are. Christy, did you want to share?
Actually, I do. So I was listening to Crystal, so I thought about a few things. So I believe the question was, how did it impact, right? So it was 3 things that Habitat showed me. And I'm gonna start off with discipline. Discipline was the first thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I had to get my credit straight. I didn't come from a family that taught me how to budget my money. I didn't come from a family that taught me how to create finances for myself. I had to discipline myself to even get the house. And the funny part about it, it's not really funny, but the good news about it is I actually had somebody at my job watch me go through this process because I had nothing at the house to fax off and print off paperwork. They watched me go through the process of taking my taxes and doing everything I need to do. And they actually applied for a Habitat home a couple of years later and got approved themselves based off my story. So that's one thing. The second thing was never give up. Because I never gave up and you guys never gave up on me, it became a blessing to me. So never give up. So not only did it not teach you discipline, it teaches you never to give up, because some people get so discouraged when they go through this program. And you got to keep in mind, it's not something they just give to you. And me and the ladies talked about this the other day. It's nothing that's just given to you. You got to work for this. So you got to put in volunteer hours. You got to go through a financial program. So that's another part of being disciplined, and then just never giving up, because some people get tired. You got kids and you're like, I got to go out here to this class, but I did not give up. So at the end of the tunnel, the last thing it gave me was happiness. It gave me true happiness. I'm telling you, I cried the day I got the keys to my house because I never thought that I would be a homeowner. I felt like my credit score wasn't good enough. I felt like I wasn't good enough, but it gave me that happiness I needed to boost my confidence and then be able to encourage others. And that's one thing I tell you guys, and I love Crystal's testimony. I love Precious' testimony. I'm so grateful to be able to share this platform with these ladies. But look, I just tell you guys the same way, it is a true blessing. Don't give up. It will create so much for you and your family if you decide to go with the program. And they teach you so much. It's not like, oh, they just give it to you. They teach you so much. I mean, just to be able to, now I can take my Dave Ramsey book, because like Precious, I got the Dave Ramsey book and we had to watch the DVDs. So I still have it, but it taught me how to budget, something that was never taught to me, So, and even though, and think about it, even after I gave my house back, I went through a divorce and I still went through some things, but because Habitat taught me never to give up, and it taught me how to continue to be happy. It taught me that a woman can do anything that she can do. Baby, that divorce can go outside that door and it's still me and my kids and we doing great. So that's what I would say. Yeah, snap on that.
Yeah, all snaps. Yeah, no, that's beautiful, Christy. And that it's a lifelong gift that your experience has been. It wasn't just that time that you were in the classes, it's been a lifelong thing. And that you're giving back in such powerful ways for future generations, and that you're such a significant reminder to us and our experiences. Because I remember you in those classes, and I remember when you got those keys. We should probably hand out Kleenexes at the dedication days a little bit more, instead of maybe some hammer and nails, but you know, everybody's dabbing their eyes. But Precious, we're going to close on you. Precious, what would you want to give to people watching this as your biggest takeaway to inspire them, either as homeowners or as future homeowners? What would you want to give them as advice on their journey?
Advice I give to them, don't give up. You know, no matter what you're going through, don't give up. Stay connected or get connected. Build relationships. Build relationships. Don't give up. Stay connected. I'm trying to talk and my words won't come out much as I talk. Stay connected, build relationships. You got be friendly, be mindful, be accountable, be reliable. You know, and you got to be responsible for your actions. And don't give up. You know, like they do. They think houses is given to us. It's not given to us. You have to work. You have to earn it. You have to research. You have to be up early mornings. You got to be up late night. God will give you the desires of your heart. And that's my scripture. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I appreciate y'all being a Christian organization. You know, y'all call, y'all check up on us, and like I say, keep relationships and stay connected. You know, never know when you need help or where your help gonna come from, and don't be scared to share information. People so quick to withhold information, you know, and don't want to tell their neighbor or their brother or their sister. Like I said, I told 50 of my partners, and Mr. Steve and all of them know now. They said they get a lot of phone calls from my people still calling because I need to be a spokesperson for y'all. I'm always talking about Habitat, how y'all blessed us, how y'all taught us about the volunteers. I always tell people about the Restore. The Restore blessed me with this restaurant with a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, I got some chandeliers up there for $5 from y'all. Some diamond chandeliers in the bathroom. My friends who doing churches, all the pulpits and everything. I love y'all. You can't find no organization no better than Habitat for Humanity, baby.
Yeah. You know, and I feel like Christy, Precious, and Crystal are some of the best humans, that you can't find folks like this everywhere, that we're bonded and connected over something more universal and beautiful. Precious, you close this out with the coolest content. It's all about staying focused, being motivated. And, you know, the tenets of our program is about stability and strength and independence. And you three ladies show that. You show that through and through, heart and soul. So thank you. It's been an absolute privilege to speak with three of you guys tonight. Precious, what's the name of your restaurant? And Crystal, what's the name of your business? Precious, what's the name of your restaurant?
Fabulous Flavors and Friends. We at 2063 East Brooks Road. I'm over here by the airport, by Greyhound bus station.
All right, yes, ma'am. And Crystal, what's the name of your business if you feel like sharing?
So the name of my business is Healthy Hair 101. So you all can find me on Facebook.
Awesome. All right, I wanted to get some plugs in there. Sherry, I'm going to send it back over to you. Thank you, ladies, for speaking with me and allowing me to moderate you tonight.
Wow, what incredible and powerful stories and journeys we have heard from these three incredible women tonight. Thank you so much, Precious, Christy, Crystal. My heart is just full and overflowing. I have been so touched by these stories that you all have shared. I'm sure those of you watching have been too. We have so much work to do at Habitat. There's so much more to do, and we're so ready to do it, and we want you to get involved with us. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure to go to our website and sign up for our email list. We have more exciting Women Build content coming up in the next few months. In fact, in October, we've got some plans in the works around International Day of the Girl, which is on Monday, October the 11th, and you definitely won't want to miss any of that. So if you will email us, we're going to drop a Women Build email address into the chat box. If you'd like to get involved in our efforts around International Day of the Girl, we're building things now. We're building what we're going to do now. So if you want to get in on the ground floor, that would be great. And we're going to have more events coming in the fall. So watch your inboxes, look at our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, check our website for details and new developments that we have coming up. And just thank you all again for spending part of your evening with us. It's just been just so full of warmth, and I have been blessed, and I feel like you probably all have been too. So thank you so much for joining us, spending your time with us tonight, and we hope you all have a very wonderful weekend. Goodbye.